Elon Musk earned not one, but 2 degrees, yet he does not attribute his success to his college education. He actually feels the exact opposite. Because he has developed specific learning strategies, Elon has his own manner of learning everything he wants. And if you master these skills, you'll undoubtedly develop into a far better version of yourself. Elon Musk graduated from the University of Pennsylvania with a bachelor's degree in physics and economics. He wanted to pursue a PhD at Stanford in California, but left soon after to work with his brother Kimball to create Zip2, a web software company. He never turned around. Musk has criticized the current educational system in a very public way. Simply put, he doesn't think that students are fast and thoroughly learning. He believes that there isn't enough of an emphasis on critical thinking and problem solving with that. Musk made the decision to take control of his education, looking to books and mentors with specialized skills for guidance. Jim Cantrell, a man who lists himself as a subject matter expert in satellite systems on his LinkedIn account, was one of the first persons he contacted. From 1990 to 1992, Cantrell worked for the French Space Agency, or CNES. After returning to the United States, he started providing aerospace agencies with consultancy services. In 2001, Musk unexpectedly phoned Cantrell after learning about him and realizing how wonderful of a person he would be. Cantrell, who was unfamiliar with Musk, would later call him the sharpest person he had ever encountered. The two of them needed to talk. Musk told him over the phone, and Cantrell was eventually pressed for information regarding the potential for launching a spaceship to Mars. The future SpaceX founder was seeking some advice after being turned down by the Russians. Musk allegedly went to the Russians to buy rockets for his plan to land one on Mars, but the cost proved prohibitive. Musk at the time could not pay what they were asking because he was not a billionaire, but had made a few $1,000,000. His approach was making his own rockets. Cantrell stepped in at that point. Cantrell was fascinated by the idea and gave Musk permission to borrow some of his books. He loaned him books like International Reference Guide to Space Launch Systems, Fundamentals of Astrodynamics, and Rocket Propulsion Elements, to mention a few. Musk carefully studied these texts. Cantrell would subsequently admit that he wasn't sure if Musk had taken notes on the material in the books, but he is aware that Musk seemed to have almost everything he read committed to memory. Musk had the understanding and vocabulary necessary to engage in debates about astrophysics, rocket science, and other subjects as a result. Cantrell remembers Musk telling himself, "I'll be damned," when he created the blueprints for the rocket that SpaceX would eventually deploy after reading the texts. Because of this, he has prohibited all of my novels. The mechanical engineer was impressed by how much Musk had applied in addition to how much he had learned. Musk also adheres to the notion of surrounding himself with the smartest people in his pursuit of self-education, in addition to collecting textbooks. He would engage in discussions with experts in their industry to learn more about them, strive to duplicate their knowledge when he applied it to his undertakings, like SpaceX, and eventually become friends with them. In reality, Jim Cantrell briefly collaborated with Musk at SpaceX before starting his own businesses. The power of asking the proper questions, according to Musk, was highlighted in his 2017 speech at the World Government Summit in Dubai. I came to the conclusion that trying to comprehend the proper questions to ask is what actually is important. And the more we can broaden the reach and depth of the human mind, the more effectively we can pose these queries. This is the reason he maintains a close network of business leaders, some of whom he even hires. How much reading does it take to become a self-taught rocket scientist, you might wonder? The answer is a good deal. Musk acknowledged in a 2017 interview with Rolling Stone that he was first raised by his parents, then by books. He attributes his current level of accomplishment to the time he spent reading, and he has a distinguished reading background. Elon is an excellent example of someone who is extremely successful in a variety of fields. Therefore, contrary to what you would have thought, the proverb, "a jack of all trades is a master of none," is not relevant to him. He is said to have read the complete Encyclopedia Britannica when he was just 9 years old and then spent the next 10 hours a day reading nearly solely science fiction books. It's also not surprising that Musk suggests reading works about other historical geniuses, such Walter Isaacson's Benjamin Franklin, An American Life in Isaacson's Einstein, His Life and Universe. Musk gained a lot of knowledge about leadership and his desire to make the world a better place from reading all those books. Even while the average person certainly doesn't have 10 hours a day to devote to reading, some of the wealthiest and most gifted individuals will tell you that reading continually is one of the secrets to their success. According to reports, Warren Buffett reads for 5 to 6 hours per day, getting through a few newspapers and financial documents. The success and business acumen of other billionaires, including Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and Mark Cuban, testifies to the importance of reading. It is not a guarantee that you will quickly reach the level of a rocket scientist if you are interested in increasing your knowledge through books in the manner of Musk. Musk isn't even qualified to call himself a rocket scientist. He only gathered a staggering amount of knowledge. But Musk differs from those who simply read books because he puts the knowledge he learns to use. Musk had said that he adheres to 2 fundamental criteria for the collection and application of information. The first is that, in his words, he evaluates information in the form of a semantic tree. He exhorts individuals to make sure that they are aware of the core concepts. Before you get to the leaves or the specifics of the issue, the trunk and large branches are not enough to just cover the subject, in his opinion. You must investigate every facet of industry. He taught himself rocket science using this as his guiding concept. In order to be certain that he fully understood it, he studied every minute detail. His second tenet states that it is essentially impossible to recall something if our brains aren't wired properly. And learning involves more than just gathering data at random. We need to practice using that knowledge if we want to learn like Elon Musk has learned. When Cantrell lent him those early textbooks, Musk didn't just memorize what he had read. In fact, he utilized the information to develop the blueprints for the rockets that SpaceX would ultimately launch into orbit. His approach is to start with the fundamentals, build on them through time, and then apply what he has learned. Or, to put it another way, you should focus on the essentials before being sucked into the less important minutiae. The creator of SpaceX even addressed his hiring criteria in his comments on schooling. He is credited as saying that a lack of a college degree does not stop an applicant from obtaining employment. In that sense, Musk undoubtedly exemplifies what he preaches. I think that's enough for now. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you soon.